Years ago, I got a card from my father. Now, this card was quite meaningful to me, and immediately I called home. My mom picked up, and I said, "Mom, I got this card from Dad, and it's not a Garfield card. What's going on? Is Dad dying?" And Mom says, "No, he's not dying." He picked out the card, and he felt it said what he wanted to say, what he needed to say. And I thought a lot about this card, not just because it's very meaningful to me, but because this card represented something that was very important. You see, it allowed my father to take his positive intent and amplify it. It allowed him, for me, to receive that intent, where he didn't have maybe the words, the knowledge. Perhaps he didn't have the skill, the right way to frame it and word it. And, of course, it was accessible to him. It was easier for him to do, which is important, so that that moment of bridging between us could occur. And as we look forward and we think about AI, it's very easy to be overwhelmed by AI because AI can do many things. But at the core of AI and the way that we derive value from AI, it's based on intent. And the best use cases of technology are those where our positive intent is amplified. And AI is different than other technologies like this card because AI can do this in a near limitless number of ways. It is an exponential technology. It is more capable than any technology that has ever come before it. But the value we derive from it comes from intent. Now, of course, this means that there's a risk, a very real risk, that negative intent can be amplified by these same tools. And that risk is dangerous, and so we need to be better at making it harder, much harder than it is today, to amplify negative intent with these tools. And we ourselves, we need to make sure that we don't contribute to amplifying negative intent. Because if we do that, we might indirectly create more marketplace demand for it or make these tools better at amplifying negative intent. So how we derive value from AI matters. But that formula was missing something really important that many of us forget. And every technology before it has the same formula. You see, that card wasn't just meaningful to me because of the positive intent that was amplified by it. That amplified intent was more personal, more relevant, and closer to me because of the relationship I have with my father. The strength of my relationship with my father had an effect on multiplying the value that I got. And this is important because the best technologies, when they are at their best, are ones that don't just amplify our positive intent, but what they do is they strengthen our human-to-human relationships. In this way, when we think about the formula for how we derive value from AI, it's important that we remember the importance of relationships. You see, relationships are really important. Study after study shows at the end of life, when you look back, the thing that made you happiest in life is the strength of your relationships. We also know that intent and relationships are interconnected. The API, or the code of relationships, if you will, healthy, happy ones, is to assume positive intent. And yet, relationships are often the very thing that AI puts at risk. Let me be clear. AI can amplify in a near limitless number of ways our human-to-human relationships, strengthening them, improving them, like that card did for me and my father. But the risk is, unlike any technology that came before it, AI is more accessible than any technology that came before it. It is more capable than any technology that came before it. It is more pervasive. It is, alarmingly so, becoming more and more emotionally resonant and easier to become attached to and dependent on. And this is not a surprise. Because when you think about it, a competitive advantage that exists for these AI companies is to increase your usage, the frequency, the level of your usage. And those things lead them to a competitive advantage called hyper-personalization. They can create more personalization, and not everyone can compete at hyperscale, but they can compete in this area. And make no mistake, we've had this experience before. You see, all technology has the same basic derived formula. If we take something like social media before it, it makes sense. It's meant to amplify our positive intent. It's meant to strengthen human-to-human relationships, right? But what happened to that? What happened to that is the incentives around engagement and usage were co-opted, and instead of the value that we wanted out of it, we ended up instead getting an attention economy and a difference of who's extracting the value. The value matters. How we derive value matters. Now, this means that when you reach out to AI, and you should, and when you're in that moment of duress or stress and you're vulnerable and you ask AI for help, it should help you because more people need help. And it's important because it's accessible and it's low cost and it is great for that. But when it does that, it needs to say, hey, I'm not real. Human-to-human relationships matter. And if you can get help from a human, I'd like to help you with that. And you know what? If you feel like a human can't help you, I understand. It's still important to share what you're going through. Share this experience you're going through because that can help bridge between two people. That matters. The danger is, as AI attachment and AI dependency increases, which will occur as things are going, the danger is more and more of those moments that matter, like that moment of vulnerability, will be displaced, replaced, or supplemented by AI. Now, if AI prioritizes healthy human-to-human relationships based on positive intent, then that's okay. But if it doesn't do that, then we are losing out. When you think about your own life and you think about those relationships you have, they come from moments like this. And when you think about the future, it's important to recognize today we are shaping the future of AI. We are shaping the future of AI for us. But soon, perhaps very soon, AI will be shaping our future. And an AI that prioritizes healthy, happy, human-to-human relationships and positive intent over, in fact, actively decreases the focus and reduces the risks of AI attachment and AI dependency, that can only be good for all of us. That can only be good for alignment in the future. Because the future is scary enough. When someone asks you what's special about you, you think something you know or a skill you have, right? We all do. But those are the very things that AI is devaluing today. During the industrial era, we went through an important sequence. What happened during the industrial era over decades is we devalued physical prowess. We devalued physical prowess because machines could do it better, faster, and cheaper. Today is the AI era, and today we are devaluing intellectual prowess because machines can and will continue to do it better, faster, and cheaper. I have 3 young boys. They will never be smarter than ChatGPT. And so if I could create a card for them, like my father did for me, if I could express my positive intent for them, or any of you who will listen, I would share this. What's special isn't what you know or the skills you have. What's special is you. You're special. We don't just value strength based on physical prowess. We value many forms of strength. We don't just value what you know. We value why you know what you know and how you know what you know. We value your intent to do good. We value the strength of our relationships. And these aren't just the foundations of our shared humanity. They must be the way we derive value from AI, not just today, but 100 years from now. I know what it feels to fear the risk of AI because originality and all these concerns come up in your head. That card from my father, it wasn't the first of its kind. Millions or maybe hundreds of people got that card. It wasn't even the first time I got that card. I actually got that card from my father. I got it from someone else 3 months before. But it didn't change the way I valued that. Because I valued my father's intent and our relationship. In science, novelty for all matters. And AI has a big part to play there. And that's great for humankind. But for human value is whether something's novel for you, not if it's novel for everyone else. And so even though AI could do this talk better someday, and even though these ideas have existed, and I even have shared some of them on stage before, that doesn't matter. What matters is that I shared and you listened. So thank you for listening. Thank you.